Grace is running out, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running out. They are looking at the 3-eye situation. It's coming more into view. The other day, the sun had a solar CME that shot off of it. It looked like proverbial devil horns and a tail coming off of the sun towards Earth. Grace is about to be over. You look at the time in Noah's day, right? How much grace did they have in Noah's day? Well, you could say they had 100 plus time in grace. You could say that due to how long it took for him to build that ark. Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay? 500 years old. Chapter 6, and it says this, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2, this is an argued topic. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that were fair. The angels, what we call them now, nephews, oh, they sure is fine down there. Ooh, look at that one. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. If we're in the days of Noah, and it's going to be as the days of Noah, when Christ and God himself and the archangel descend down. Ascend is go up, descend is down, and the trumpet is blown. But God's time and our time, again, different. This is where people are getting beat up with emotion and stress and anxiety. Okay? Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for he is also flesh. Yet his days shall be numbered 120. Man was living for hundreds of years. Hundreds. I want to go back to this part where it says we focus on, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. His spirit will not always strive with man, and his day shall be 120. How long do people live today? If you think about it, not too many people live past 100 now. You might be able to find some Guinness World Book records of how long folks lived. I'm looking up strive, not with a man, to enter. So strive could mean enter as well. We in the King James, and so I have a concordance Bible. Oh, you can't. Oh, there you go. So you can get back in here. So my spirit shall not always strive, but then when I look it up, it says enter. Okay, now let's go back. Go back to Genesis 6. It's a lot to say to someone that would be a newborn in the faith. There are different levels that I know that we can't always come at, or talk to people at different levels of understanding where we are today. Typically when you get new people in, you say, oh, we're in the days of Noah. What's that? Everybody is not as studied. But just as the days of Noah, what does it say? They would be eating and drinking, giving into marriage, right? Look at all the things that are happening right now. The reason why the snatching is going to be so bad is because it's going to upset the apple cart of what we see today. Verse 3 again, chapter 6. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men. So strive means enter in men. My spirit shall not always enter in men. For he is flesh, and yet his days is 120. Verse 4, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of man had sex with women on earth. Now, you got people out here that don't want to teach that. They don't want to preach that, but that's what the Bible says. It says this. I just reworded it. It says, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. That's in the book. That's Genesis 6, folks. It says that the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. That means they had sex, ladies and gentlemen. Angels had sex with women, human women. And giants were created called the Nephilim. And there's the same Nephi that David had to beat called Goliath. Joshua was told by God, of course back then there was no grace, there was no mercy back then. It was just a law. And God gave the law, go kill them all. They hid in the caves of the earth during the flood, and they reappeared after the flood. Now, it says that these children that was born unto them were mighty, of old, men of renown. They were head and shoulders above everybody else, obviously. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Now, let's think. God saw, so you had all of this going on. They came down. They found our women to be fine. They had sex with them, put babies in the oven. Babies were born. They became huge. Verse 5, God said, oh, this is wicked. The mixing of the gene pools. These men were great on the earth, the Bible says in verse 5, and that every indignation of thought of his heart was only evil continually. These jokers, these freaks that were made. Let's go back to 5 again. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thought of their heart was evil continually. They thought about evil crap all day long. That's in the days of Noah. So, what's different from today? Man thinks evil all day. Don't we see it on TV currently? Evil continually. Verse 6. And it repented the Lord. That's got to be a tough situation where God regretted, it repented him that he even made man on earth. Wow. And it grieved him at his heart. Isaiah, the reference, Isaiah 63 and 10. Verse 7, and the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I created off the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. The great I am said it repented him that he even made creation, because creation got out of control. Now, let's think. If we're in the days of Noah and we're talking about harpazo, things that are happening all around us, 3-Eye Atlas has its own lights. It's emanating its own brightness, they said, and it's freaking them out. We got a woman who tested for bubonic plague, got bit by a tick out Lake Tahoe. crazy weather coming, hurricanes, earthquakes, just still not stopping. War still not stopping. Evil all across the earth. So if back then, if God, but see, this is before Christ was manifest. It's the reason why he had to come back. Again, because the book said what the law could not do, Christ had to do. And what the law could not do was keep everybody in line. But this is the reason why Christ had to come back. It repented God that he even made man. In other words, let me bring my only begotten Son so that we can get back into fellowship, God and creation. Verse 7, and the Lord said, I will... Here's the thing. Again, I'm telling people every day, all day, code, the Bible is coded. Verse number 7, chapter 6. Verse 7, 7 is to destroy, to cleanse, to redo. And what does it say in verse 7 of chapter 6? Genesis chapter 6. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I've created off the face of the earth, both man and beast. What are they trying to do now? What do you see? A beast or insect, creeping thing, biting human beings. And then all of a sudden, we get these plagues and diseases that ain't been seen in years and hundreds, or maybe 100 years, 50 years, right? Everything right now is contaminated. We got squirrels they're talking about. Now first we had zombie deers. I just read an article talking about we got zombie squirrels. Be on the lookout. Everything on this earth is contaminated. Me, you included. We're all contaminated. The only difference between now and then is that Christ had not fulfilled his mission at Calvary. But now we have an intercessor to where God say, I'm not going to destroy it. I'm just going to pull the good out and then destroy it. Same typology with Noah and Lot. Okay? He said, I'm going to get rid of them all in verse 7. I'm going to destroy everything. Everything. Not thing, everything. I'm going to wipe it out. Verse 8, the number of new beginnings. But Noah found grace. I think this is misunderstood all the time. In the eyes of the Lord. Noah was looking into God. What does the Bible say about in Corinthians? He freely gave us the Spirit to search all things, to know all things, even the deep things in God. So, if Paul taught the church of Corinth, we have his Spirit and to freely search God. Like we dare to ask him to search us, right? Verse 8, Noah was searching God. And guess what he found when he was searching God? He found grace. Noah found grace. The Bible doesn't say God gave grace to Noah. That's not what it says in verse 8. It says, but Noah found. So if Noah found, what was he doing to find? Found and then find. Found, he accomplished. Find, he was on a mission. And he found grace. So that he was a man of God that was constantly seeking God, and he sought God and found grace. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. That's why he was able to find grace. Okay? Now that grace is Christ. Do you understand the difference here? Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And there's the argument with the black and white thing. Where do black people come from? Where do white folk come from? All that foolishness. Okay? People are so earthly, and you're not thinking heavily. None of that matters when you get your new robe, when you get your new garment. We're all going to be the same. Sons of God. That's what it says, folks. No, there's no marriage in heaven. That needs to be taught. There's no husband, no wife in heaven. There's no male, no female in heaven. Ain't black, there ain't white. It ain't Jackie Chan. And it ain't the dude from 7-Eleven that own it. It ain't none of that. It's everybody is one in God. All of this separation and division, racism, all of this crap that we go through, that's going to be done data at the throne. No more of that will be found in folks' hearts, minds, lips, mouths, brains. Constantly got to keep going on color. Verse 9, these are the generations. So, verse 10, and Noah begat 3 sons. Verse 11, the earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was full of violence. Verse 12, that's 12, that was 11. And God looked upon the earth and beheld it was corrupt, for all the flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Sometimes we got to go back to the beginning of this book. If we're in the days of Noah, we need to go back to Noah and read. What was going on at Noah's time? It's the same things going on today, no different, except for the date and time, but the same things is going on. Is not the earth corrupted and full of violence? Is it not, y'all? Is it not? And the earth itself is violent right now, changing every day, ever before us. Right? Verse 12, he said it was corrupt, all of it, the flesh. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence. Is not the earth filled with violence right now? To know where we are. Jesus said, if you're watching, you will know the hour in which I am to come upon thee and take you back to where I built your place of rest. I'm going away to prepare a place for you. Jesus has his bride with him. The Most High, his bride is going to be left here. God looked upon the earth and it was corrupt. All flesh had been corrupt. That's verse 12. And they corrupted God's way. Is that not the case now? Even in the church, the 501. Is not everything corrupted? We want same-sex marriage. They have totally flipped God's order upside down. Okay? Verse 13, and God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is here. Earth is full of violence. Behold, I will destroy them and with the earth. I'm going to stop right there. That's verse 14. 14, he gets on the ark. Or he's told to build the ark. We'll look at that another video. Corruption is here. We're doing everything, all of that's happening now. The part that I like about that the most, Noah found grace, which means he was seeking God. A lot of people are not seeking God on a daily basis. They're seeking their own rationale, their own. Are we bold enough to say, God, crush my will so that your will be done? Are we bold enough to say that? Are you humble enough to say that in this hour? Because where we want to go is up. Okay? Is up. In the heavens past, little Catherine said that we were raptured off the earth and going into outer space. And she could see God. He was huge. She could see his face, but she couldn't see his face, but she knew he was smiling. And when I think about, she said we were going into outer space, and she looked back, and the devil was coming up. That reminds me of Revelation 12, and she said we beat the devil back with the words from the Bible. And then I think about this thing that coming. They don't know if it's a comet, but when I looked up the name of Three-Eye Atlas, it says Act of God, and it says God. If we were to be pulled up off the earth, again, 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17 never says, from that point it just says we're going to meet them in the clouds in the air. I noticed how little Catherine, in her dream 5 years ago, she never finished that point as to where we were going. That is the mystery. We believe in the harvest. We believe that he's coming back to receive us unto his own, and that we will end up at Revelation 4 and 5 at the throne, 7 lamps of fire, the 7 churches, 7 spirits. But the taxi, Noah had an ark. Is this thing an ark? Now, I know we are so contaminated with worldly perception and culturalism and ideology. Nobody wants to think positive. Nobody hardly even wants to say, yeah, that could be, to have a fantasy of God. We can fantasize about sex, we can fantasize about drugs, we can fantasize about cussing folk out, but we can't fantasize about escaping. It's the weirdest thing ever. You've been compartmentalized, and your thinking power is below your waistband. If we are to have a blessed hope, and all this convergence in late September, early October, so many things going on, way more than it was in 2020 when we first started getting out here. Way more. There's too many things going on, folks. Do you have a vision past the fall? Can you see November? Can you see Thanksgiving? Can you see the pagan Christmas holiday? Can you see the pagan New Year coming up? I can't see past that. It's black for me. It's dark. There's no vision past October, the first couple of weeks. I have no vision. I have no I don't get ready for this, and this is coming. I feel nothing for this place anymore. Nothing. I don't have it in my mind to make plans for 2-3 years down the road. I don't have it. There's nothing in there. It is empty. In the comment section, what do you have left for this world? Are you still tied to something spiritually? I mean, naturally here? Is there something that you're still holding on to? How do you feel? Do you have a vision? How do you feel? Do you see the future? Are you making plans for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months? Where's your headspace at right now in the comment section? Share your testimony. Where is your headspace at right now as far as how far you see down the road, the convergence of everything that's going on? Let me know what your thought is and share it with everybody else, because a lot of people are packed up. You know, they're bound up. And they need a release. They need to talk. They need to get something off. So a lot of times, just communicating that fact. This is the days of Noah. And we're ready to go. I was ready to go. Peace.